Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about this, the brand new Milwaukee M12 Rover. Stay tuned. Alright you guys, so this is the brand new Milwaukee M12 Rover, and it is a second Rover Light that they've released into the M12 lineup. The model number is 2367-20, okay? And I believe right now it retails for somewhere around $59.97, so roughly around 60 bucks at pretty much all the Milwaukee retailers or authorized retailers or whatnot. You can get it at the depot with a free 2 amp hour battery for the same price. So $59.97-ish, you get free 2 amp hour battery and the light. Seems like a pretty good deal. I would try to pick it up if you can. It is a little bit difficult to pick up because as soon as it comes into stock, it sells out almost 10-15 minutes later. So if you do see it, get it immediately, or set an alert for it, so when it comes back in stock you can get it, but it does sell out really fast. It's a really popular item. So we'll go over some stuff real quick and then we'll really get into it. Like I said, second light that they've introduced into the M12 lineup for the Rover lineup or whatnot. It has two modes, a high 700 lumens, a low 250 lumens, and on high with the 4 amp hour battery you get around 8 hours, on low you get somewhere around 24 hours or so they claim. The light design is obviously very different. It's a lot less clunky or whatnot. It has a head that swivels, it has a standard 5-year warranty, and for the tool, and the LEDs on here have a limited lifetime warranty. It is IP54 rated, so that seems pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty good light. I've already dropped it a couple times already. So let's get into it. All right, so on this new design, it's a lot more user-friendly and has a lot more features. Let's start with the front here. On the front, it's got 2 rows of 8 LEDs, and this is the more efficient, the newer LEDs where it's just the diode on the back. There's no like a focusing beam or any of that fun stuff. But this is the new LEDs, and it's a lot more efficient. If I haven't mentioned earlier, it's roughly around 700 lumens on high, and you get about 8 hours of runtime on a 4 amp hour battery, and 250 lumens on low, you can get roughly around 24 hours on a 4 amp hour battery, okay? This entire front light panel can swivel about 110 degrees, okay? So you can really get it in wherever you need the light. You can do it this way, just turn it. You can put it on its side, you can put it upside down if that's kind of your thing. You can put it on its back, okay? So that front is actually really nice. Standard Milwaukee emblem, logo. The back side is really nice too. The back side has this rubber overmold type thing on most of the back, and it's the same type, it feels like the same type of material they put on the handles of your drills and power tools and things like that. It does have a keyhole here if you did want to hang it on something, which I haven't really used that much, but it does have a really powerful magnet on the back side. And the magnet combined with this rubber overmold type I don't know, finish coating or whatever it is, it really helps it to stick and not move, okay? So you guys probably know there's on the you can stick it on the corner of the corner bead of a drywall, and due to the rubberized coating or feeling or overmold back here, it really helps it to stick and stay there. I mean, if you use a 4 amp hour battery, it'll slide a little bit because it's heavy, but if you use a 2 amp hour or the more compact or 1.5 amp hour batteries, it'll be fine. If you get it right on the screw or something, that's pretty much going to be gold. You'll be perfect there. So this back overmold is a really nice touch because the combination between this rubberized material and this magnet actually really helps, okay? And this magnet is a pretty powerful magnet, okay? On the top here, you got the fuel status gauge and you have the power button. So the power button actually is the power button and the mode button. So that's a change from the old Rover. Old Rover had 2 buttons, one turned it on and one changed the modes. But on this one is to turn it on, right? And then you can press it again to turn it to low, and then you press it again to turn it to off. So if you always want to use it on low, you're gonna have to press it a few extra times, but no big issue. I would much rather them have that and also add this new feature rather than have 2 buttons dedicated, one for power and one for mode. So the new button here is actually a USB charger. So on the top here, if you pop this off, right, there is a 2.1 amp hour USB-A port here, okay? And you have to press this button to turn it on. If you just plug it in, nothing will happen because it's not on, it doesn't charge. So quick note here, even if you press it again once it is charging, it doesn't turn it off, it doesn't do anything. All it really does is you press it once to turn it on, that's pretty much it, okay? And it's got like this nice rubberized material on the cover, and the cover stays in place and holds here. So this thing, if I didn't mention earlier, is IP54 rated, so I do think that it will hold up pretty well. Okay, so that's pretty much the basics of it. I generally like to use it with a 4 amp hour battery, mainly because the 4 amp hour battery, or even the other 6 or the more flat packs like this, have a bigger base. So as you can tell here, with the bigger base, it's pretty sturdy. Okay, the downside to the 4 amp hour battery and the 6 or the bigger flat packs like this is that it's a little bit more heavier. So if you do stick it on a wall or stick it on something magnetic, it will tend to slide down a little bit. But if you get it on something that is really dense metal or heavy duty metal, it will be fine. Okay, there's really no issues with it. The problem is when you get up to something like sheet metal, or you're trying to get it on the corner bead of a drywall, or something light metal like that, it doesn't work out really well. So with the 4 amp hour battery like this, you can really get it here and it stays pretty sturdy because of this long edge on this battery. So I like to use that. But if you do use a more compact battery, like a 2 amp hour or a 1.5 amp hour, I guess, it does still stand up perfectly like that, and you can still use it like this and it won't turn over or whatnot, mainly because this panel here is really long. But sometimes if you're on like a hill, like my driveway is on, what I notice is that if I don't get it perfectly on like some car parts, something like that, it does like to lean backwards a little bit. Okay, so but that's no biggie, but I'm just letting you know it works out fine. I'm just nitpicking at certain things here and there. But for my purposes, or I really like to use the 4 amp hour, the bigger hour packs, because it does make it a little bit more sturdy. As you can see here, I've already dropped this thing twice. It rolled. I was replacing some piece, part of the belt on the car, and then hit it and it rolled off, and it was working. It still works fine. There's no issues with it. I thought maybe it would have cracked open or something because it did fall pretty hard with a big battery on it, but no issues. It works just perfectly fine. Okay, so this light is actually really great because we did have a small power outage the other day, and roughly around 4 to 5 hours, and usually for adults it's not a big problem, it's not a big deal, but if you have kids, and especially toddlers and young ones, it becomes a really big problem. So my toddler actually had a lot of fun playing with this light, and we were able to charge his little devices using this. And then it was nighttime, so it was actually convenient. We could still put him to bed by keeping this on low in his closet and kind of a night light, and it still worked out fine. So with this 4 amp hour pack I had on there, when I woke up next morning, the light was still on. So I mean, it's really efficient, it's really good. It doesn't heat up as nowhere nearly as much as the previous one. So I think you gain a lot of heat, you get a lot of efficiency because it's no longer losing all the energy to heat. Okay, so like I said, this is a really great light. It's probably my new go-to favorite light now, mainly because it does have the accessory port, which you can use to charge your tablets and phones and stuff, and it is very handy. And I do really like this magnetic design with the over mold and rubberized design they have on there, because it does stick really well. Sticks on the car with this 4 amp hour battery, no problem. You can use it to stick on part of a wall, especially if you get a screw, it turns out fine, and you can turn it like this and kind of get a good area light on it, so that works out pretty well. Alright, so like I was mentioning, this is actually a really good light, and I really enjoy using this light. It's pretty much my go-to light now. Use it a lot already. Use it to do a bunch of work. Some work under the cabinet, some work on the car, some work outside. Awesome for grilling because you can just sit it on the side of your grill table and just shine it right there, and it's bright enough, and it's got the magnets and stuff to really hang up and hold and whatever things that you need. So for $59.97 or 60 bucks, it's a pretty good product. It's a great product actually. You're just paying a little bit more premium for that Milwaukee product. So like I mentioned, it's great, especially if you can get it with a free 2 amp hour battery. It's definitely a great deal. So make sure you can find that, or try to get that deal if you can. I'll drop a link, I guess, in the description to see if it can help you guys out. But like I mentioned, it's almost always out of stock, so set an alert. If you see it, go get it right away. But like I said, hope this video has helped you guys out, and then we'll see you guys next time.